Hey guys, tonight we begin a journey into the life of a samurai. It is a fascinating and often challenging existence. If this topic interests listeners, please subscribe and comment about where and when they are listening. A samurai wakes at dawn. The hour of the hare. That's around 6 in the morning. The room is cold. There is no heating. A tatami mat covers the floor. It is thin but serves as a bed. The wooden boards press through. One feels them beneath. The cold is constant. The samurai opens his eyes slowly. Morning light filters through paper screens. The paper is fragile. It casts soft shadows on the walls. It is quiet. Outside, birds begin to chirp. This marks the start of a new day. He lies still for a moment. One takes a breath. The air is fresh and crisp. It carries the scent of dew. The samurai reflects on the day ahead. The responsibilities weigh heavily. A samurai's life is full of obligations. Around this time, in 1603, Japan is stable. The Tokugawa shogunate has begun. Peace reigns across the land. However, a samurai's duties are still demanding. One rises from the mat, stretching limbs. The body feels stiff. The samurai must shake off sleep. He pushes himself up. The movements are slow, deliberate. There are no facility luxuries. The floor feels hard and cool. He walks to a small basin. The water is cold. He fills it from a pitcher. The water splashes gently. It brings life and warmth. Historical records note that samurai had no access to warm baths every day. The water is often too frigid for comfort. The samurai washes his face. The cold droplets refresh him. It helps awaken the mind. The skin tingles from the chill. This ritual is simple, yet vital. Hygiene practices differ across classes. For samurai, washing is a daily routine. The awareness of cleanliness reflects their status. Historians highlight the role of personal care. A clean samurai appears disciplined and ready. Next, he reaches for a cloth. It is a simple piece of linen. He dries his face carefully. This cloth is worn but familiar. It is part of his daily ritual. The samurai gathers his clothes. He dresses in layers. First comes a fundoshi, a type of loincloth. Then, he puts on a kimono. The fabric is colorful but practical. It is made of cotton or silk. The samurai pushes his arms through the sleeves. He ties the kimono with an obi. This broad sash ensures a good fit. The clothing is comfortable for movement. Layers of fabric help keep warm. Next, he slips into his hakama. This pant-like garment is essential. The samurai secures it around the waist. The fabric is often straight and wide. It allows freedom to fight. Footwear is next. He finds a pair of waraji, straw sandals. They are simple but functional. The sandals are tied with cord. One moves with a soft rustle, the sandals whispering with each step. Now dressed, the samurai examines the small space. The room is sparse. It contains only essential items. There is a small table and a hanging scroll. The scroll may have a kanji proverb or art. This decor reflects personal taste. The samurai takes a moment to breathe. His day may become filled with conflict. He needs to stay calm and centered. His thoughts drift to his lord, the daimyo. Loyalty is vital in samurai life. Loyalty is tested daily. A samurai must be prepared for challenges. They serve as both warriors and advisors. This dual role shapes their identity. The samurai walks outside. The cool air greets him. He steps onto the gravel path. It crunches softly under his sandals. Morning dew clings to the grass. Outside, the world is awakening. Farmers start their day with chores. Carpentry and weaving begin down the road. The rhythm of village life is steady. Each day follows a predictable pattern. The samurai observes the peaceful scene. Women fetch water from the well. Children play and giggle. A sense of tranquility envelops the morning. Yet danger lurks beneath the surface. He heads to the training yard. This space is open and clear. Learning martial skills is crucial. A samurai requires discipline. His body must be fit for combat. Training begins at sunrise. As the sun rises slowly, he prepares. Each movement requires focus and precision. The sword, or katana, is an extension of life. Historians note the importance of training. The samurai spends years honing skills. Some start training as early as 5 years old. Commitment to perfection is vital. As he approaches the yard, he can see other samurai. They are his companions and rivals. Each one faces similar struggles. The bond formed through training is profound. With a deep breath, he prepares for the day. One shapes his mind and spirit. The path of the samurai is filled with duty and honor. And now, slowly, one begins to rise from the mat, preparing for what comes next. With a deep breath, the samurai rises from the mat. He feels the crisp air on his skin. Morning light filters through the thin paper walls. The day begins in earnest. He moves to the corner of his room. A plain kimono awaits him. Its fabric is soft, woven from cotton. He slips it over his head and ties the obi at his waist. This simple garment represents his status. Footwear is next. The samurai picks up his waraji. These woven sandals are made from straw. They are practical for daily movement. He carefully places them on his feet. The texture feels familiar and reliable. Another ritual follows. The samurai approaches the wooden basin. The cool water awakens his senses. One by one, he splashes his face. Water drips down his chin. This refreshing act clears his mind. He glances at the small mirror. His hair is neatly arranged, although a few strands have come loose. With a quick movement, he binds it back in place. Symbolism is vital in samurai culture. A well-groomed appearance reflects discipline. Moving with purpose, he steps toward the door. The chill of the morning air invigorates him. Each breath feels fresh and alive. Today's challenges are unknown, yet he remains prepared. Now, the sound of cooking reaches his ears. The aroma of rice fills the air. It is a staple food in the samurai diet. This sustenance will fuel him for the day. Stepping into the kitchen, he finds a small hearth. A family member stirs a pot over the flames. They smile, acknowledging his presence. The samurai nods in return. This sense of connection is critical in their daily lives. A bowl of warm rice is served. It looks inviting and nourishing. The samurai accepts it with gratitude. He eats slowly, savoring the simple flavors. Each bite is taken mindfully, honoring the effort behind it. After breakfast, he cleans his bowl with care. Maintaining cleanliness is essential. He washes it in the basin with cool water. The clinking of the bowl echoes softly. The time for reflection arrives. The samurai returns to his small room. 5 minutes of meditation provides clarity. He closes his eyes and focuses on his breath. Each inhale fills him with purpose. In this moment, he reflects on his duties ahead. He serves Adami, the local feudal lord. Loyalty is the cornerstone of this relationship. It shapes his actions throughout the day. As the meditation concludes, the samurai rises from the floor. His mind feels sharper now. With determination, he heads outside. The day's tasks await him with quiet insistence. The village is alive with activity. People greet each other as they pass by. Merchants set up stalls laden with goods. The samurai observes this bustling scene. Life in the village is vibrant, yet layered with challenges. He walks through the streets, his sandals soft against the ground. Dust rises gently with each step. His presence commands respect, even in simplicity. These are the fruits of years devoted to training and loyalty. The samurai approaches the dojo with focus. This is where he will train. Physical and mental discipline intertwine here. He opens the wooden door to the training yard. The vast space stretches out before him. Several other samurai are already present, warming up. Their movements are fluid and practiced. Training begins promptly, at sunrise. The camaraderie between them is palpable. They gather around a sensei. The sensei is a seasoned warrior. He has years of experience and wisdom. His voice carries authority, commanding attention. Focus on your movements, the sensei instructs. Each strike must be precise. The samurai nods, embodying the lessons learned. Pushing aside distractions, he prepares for the morning practice. Together, they line up for their kata. These are prearranged forms that teach technique. The first movement starts with a bow. A gesture of respect. Then the samurai flows through the forms. Each step is a combination of grace and power. This ritual must be perfected. Hours pass, as they train rigorously. Sweat glistens on their skin. They break only to drink water. The training is demanding, yet fulfilling. Nothing feels more rewarding than mastering a strike. As they move from one kata to another, the sun shines brighter. Training as a group strengthens their bond. Each samurai pushes the others to improve. They share in the challenges, motivating one another. As the morning progresses, practice transitions to sparring. One samurai challenges another. The sound of clashing steel echoes. Wooden swords, called bokken, fly through the air. This exchange sharpens their skills. The spirit of competition fills the air. Respect is paramount, even in confrontation. Training swords may hurt but never to harm. Each warrior seeks improvement through careful practice. The samurai notices fatigue setting in. His muscles ache from the exertion. However, he remains determined. The focus remains on training and honor. After several rounds, the sensei calls for a break. Gather round, he instructs, emphasizing cohesion. The group forms a circle, catching their breaths. Around them, the dojo floor holds sacred history. The walls are adorned with calligraphy and art. The atmosphere drips with the legacy of past samurai. During this break, the sensei shares lessons. He recounts stories from battles fought long ago. Stories of honor, sacrifice, and loyalty unfold. This history enriches their day and sharpens their resolve. The past is a guide, he explains. Learn from it. These teachings resonate deeply. The values of loyalty and honor remain central to their identity. With the break concluded, they resume sparring. Movements become more fluid and intuitive. Each samurai pairs with different partners, enhancing skills through variety. The sun hangs high in the sky now. The heat of the day begins to settle in. Still, they continue, driven by their purpose. The rhythm of their training is both calming and invigorating. Now, they prepare for a final kata together. In unison, their movements become synchronized. This display of unity binds them closer. Every strike echoing their collective commitment to honor. Finishing the kata, the sensei applauds their effort. "Good work today," he says, voice steady and calm. Each samurai feels a sense of accomplishment. They bow in appreciation, respecting their growth. Next, they gather for a shared meal. Simple yet nourishing, they eat rice and vegetables. The meal fosters a sense of community. Discussions about technique and lessons continue. Absorbing knowledge while breaking bread binds them. Here, they connect as brothers in arms. Each member acknowledges the importance of learning together. As they finish eating, they share small smiles and laughter. The atmosphere feels light yet respectful. Bonding over food reinforces their commitment to each other. Once the meal concludes, it is time to reflect. The samurai takes a moment to gather his thoughts. These moments allow him to process the lessons learned. He stands, preparing to leave the dojo. Outside, the village continues its daily rhythm. Shops are bustling with customers. Children play, and laughter fills the air. As he walks back through the streets, the samurai enjoys the pace of village life. Farmers engage in their daily tasks. Crafting and creating, their industry is vital for all. With each step, he contemplates his next duties. Vigilance as a retainer to the daimyo awaits him. The expectation of loyalty pushes him forward. Yet, a shadow looms in the frame of his thoughts. Responsibilities weigh steadily as he walks. His role as warrior and advisor merges once more. And so, as the day unfolds, each moment leads to the next. Each task brings new challenges. The journey continues towards the unknown responsibilities that lie ahead. As he arrives back home, the coolness of the evening air greets him. He pauses to breathe deeply once more. Now, he prepares to engage with the details of his duty. Each day matures into the next, holding echoes of the past, shaping the samurai's path. The day is far from over. Inside awaits the demands of loyalty. And so continues the life of the samurai, weaving through honor, duty, and unwavering commitment. This journey, the essence of samurai culture, will now lead to another aspect waiting to be explored. The samurai makes his way through the narrow streets of the village. The path leads him towards the dojo, a sanctuary for training and discipline. The significance of this journey is not lost on him. Each step connects him to centuries of tradition. He is part of a greater narrative, one rooted in honor and martial skill. On the walk to the dojo, he exchanges polite nods with passing townsfolk. The familiarity fosters a sense of belonging. The samurai is respected, yet he remains humble. His status is not just a title, it reflects responsibility. The community relies on him. It is a relationship built on mutual respect and expectation. As he approaches the dojo, the sounds of wooden practice swords clashing fill the air. The rhythmic thuds resonate, echoing the perseverance of training behind those paper walls. Each clash symbolizes growth. Each sound carries the weight of determination. Upon entering, the samurai bows to the dojo master. Honor dictates this behavior. The master acknowledges him with a slight nod. The atmosphere is electric, charged with anticipation. Students are in various stages of practice. Some are perfecting their stances, while others are sparing under watchful eyes. The dojo walls are adorned with symbols of strength and dedication. Scrolls with calligraphy hang, offering wisdom to all who enter. The teachings of past masters guide each samurai's journey. They remind him of the path he has chosen, the samurai code of Bushido. Training in the dojo is disciplined. The samurai joins his fellow warriors. Together, they embark on rigorous practice. Time flows slowly, moments blend into the next, merging focus and effort. The first exercise is kata. This traditional form presents a series of movements. Each movement is precise and deliberate. The samurai focuses on breath and technique. He imagines the opponent's movements as he practices. Each imagined fight sharpens his skills. Kata is foundational. It fosters both physical and mental agility. The mastery of kata requires repetitive action. It transforms effort into muscle memory. Hours pass like quiet shadows in the dojo. The samurai feels the ebb of energy through his body. Sweat forms on foreheads as samurai immerse themselves in training. The sensei walks among them, offering guidance. Each correction is a lesson, each lesson sculpts the warrior. After kata, paired sparring commences. Samurai face off against each other, their swords clashing with great emphasis. The sound reverberates in the thin air of the dojo. Defense and offense intertwine within their dance. Each movement is calculated, each action has purpose. Warriors exchange techniques, striving to outmaneuver one another. Small slips can lead to defeat. Every engagement teaches resilience. There is no room for distraction. Here, samurai must keep their wits sharp, focused on the moment. As they break into groups for feedback, discussions flourish. They analyze strategies and share insights. Open dialogues encourage learning and camaraderie among peers. Feedback fosters growth, and growth strengthens bonds. Following several hours of intense practice, a collective hunger becomes apparent. The sensei signals. It is time for nourishment. The dojo transforms, it shifts from training to a communal feel. Students gather together, forming a circle. The mood lightens. A shared meal awaits them, symbolizing fellowship and the importance of community. Rice is prepared in large pots, accompanied by side dishes of vegetables. Every dish reflects the simplicity of the samurai's life. Nourishing, but frugal, this meal emphasizes balance and sustenance. As they eat, laughter and discussions flow effortlessly. They share stories of past victories and future aspirations. The samurai understands how these communal gatherings enrich them. They strengthen individual spirits while forging collective identity. The simplicity of rice binds them in unity. Miso soup warms their bones. Every spoonful fuels the heart of a warrior. It is vital for maintaining energy. Conversations shift to training techniques. Suggestions fly back and forth, enhancing their practice. Once the meal concludes, a calm envelops the dojo. The warmth from the shared experience lingers in the air. Each samurai reflects on their palpable bond. They honor the moment, a pause in the relentless rhythm of life. Next, they gather in a circle to communicate before resuming training. The samurai takes this moment of stillness to absorb the lessons from their meal. Every insight discussed offers a new perspective. The camaraderie fosters an environment of learning and respect. The moment evokes gratitude. Each samurai understands the power of unity. Together, they grow stronger. This togetherness is a pillar of their identities. With that, they prepare to return to their training. The dojo resets itself, returning to focus. The sound of wooden practice swords resumes. The samurai rolls his shoulders back. He recenters himself, re-engaging with his purpose. After a few breaths, he steps into the rhythm of practice once more. Outside, the warm afternoon sun hangs low. Shadows stretch across the dojo floor. As they dive back into their exercises, surrounding sounds recede. The clashing of swords, the sound of breath, fill only the minds of samurai. There are layers to this training. Each strike is a lesson, each block a reminder of resilience. Focus is the guiding light, deepening concentration on technique. As hours slip by, sweat mingles with a sense of accomplishment. As training progresses, the samurai becomes aware of time. Moments blur, yet they remain vibrant in memory. Emotions shift from determination to quiet satisfaction. Reaching the end of practice, they pause, honoring their commitments. They take a moment to reflect on skills learned. The samurai draws from the wisdom imparted by his sensei. Gratefulness fills the air as they bow to their master. Each gesture signifies respect and recognition. With their exertions drawn to a close, the samurai steps back from the dojo. He feels a sense of completion. Beyond the walls, the sun is setting, painting gold in the sky. This is a moment of transition from rigorous practice to the next segment of his day. As he exits into the fading light, the sounds of the village wash over him. The streets still bustle with activity and life. The samurai observes the community, knowing his place within it. It grounds him in the values he upholds. Moving onward, he starts his walk back home. Each step is deliberate, poised, reflecting on the day's training. The village is alive, echoing the vibrancy of its people. Merchants call out, enticing customers with their goods. Farmers gather the last of their harvest. The scent of fresh produce mingles with crisp air. Children laugh as they play, bringing joy to the scene. The community thrives, and the samurai is a part of this living tapestry. Continual duties await him. As he strolls down familiar paths, thoughts cross his mind. His loyalty to the daimyo requires ongoing vigilance. Each task is a thread in the fabric of duty. The expectations placed upon him resonate deeply. He mentally prepares for the responsibilities ahead. These obligations are intertwined with his identity. Samurai life is filled with demands, some expected, others unforeseen. Each day brings new challenges to navigate. As he arrives home, a calmness envelops him. He takes in the evening sky, now colored in hues of deep blue. The cool air brushes against his skin. It offers a moment of quiet before duties reclaim his attention. This transition signifies the next shift in his day. With renewed focus, he steps into the household. Inside, family bonds await his attention. Here, balance is sought between professional obligations and personal connections. His evening rests on the horizon. Next, he will engage with the details of his service to the daimyo. Each moment continues to shape the path ahead. The samurai's journey weaves through the world of honor, loyalty, and commitment. And so continues the daily rhythm of the samurai. A life intertwined with duty, always attentive to the call of honor. Each decision adds to the legacy of the samurai's existence. Now, the focus shifts towards further training, exploring the depth of knowledge shared. Each lesson will reveal the intricacies of a samurai's life. The journey along this path awaits exploration. The dojo stands quietly in the early hours. The samurai enters, ready for focused training. Sunlight filters through the doors, casting shadows on the straw mat. For wooden dummies, representing enemies, line the training area. They wait for the first techniques of the morning. At 7 a.m. sharp, the training commences. Samurai line up, facing their instructor. Each warrior bows respectfully, acknowledging the tradition. They begin with stretches, ensuring muscles are limber. Flexibility is key in their martial practice. Next, they gather their swords. Each blade, a unique work of craftsmanship, reflects the dedication of its maker. Samurai inspect their swords. Each weapon must be sharp and polished. Any sign of neglect dishonors the warrior and his family. Routine checks ensure each sword is ready for battle. The first kata practiced today is Tachi-Uchi no Kurai. It's a fundamental form. Each movement requires precision and discipline. The wind rustles quietly outside, the only sound accompanying their kata. Stepping forward, the samurai create flowing lines in the air. Swift, yet controlled, they move as one. They pivot gracefully, demonstrating fluid body coordination. Each strike is practiced and perfected. The dojo feels alive with energy. Students breathe deeply, focusing on their forms. The instructor observes keenly, ready to provide corrections. As training progresses, fatigue begins to settle in. The hours tick by slowly, measured by the sharpness of their blades and the steady rhythm of their movements. Samurai push through the exhaustion, drawing strength from ancient traditions. They remember their ancestors, who also trained under similar circumstances. Time passes, and the next compound kata follows. Nuki waza, a defensive technique, is introduced. The samurai learn to draw their swords swiftly. Their movements become sharper. Precision is essential. A dull blade is additional, leaving room for errors. Students face each other, practicing the newly learned techniques. Their swords clash, creating rhythmic sounds echoing in the dojo. Each clash carries history, steeped in honor and prowess. Sweat beads on their foreheads, signifying their commitment. Soon, they break for a moment of pause. Taking a breath, they sip from small water vessels. They ponder the lessons learned. Each break allows warriors to reflect. The bond between them strengthens with every shared challenge. After a brief respite, the training resumes. The samurai engage in partner drills, applying katas learned earlier. A sense of camaraderie develops as they support one another. Strikes are tested, agility increased. The instructor calls attention to the importance of mental discipline. It is just as vital as physical skill. Concentration forms the heart of a samurai's training. One must remain grounded, even in moments of chaos. It is crucial in battle, where fear can lead to mistakes. Students gather again, listening attentively. The instructor shares a story about a past samurai. This warrior faced overwhelming odds but triumphed through will and skill. Such tales serve as motivation, inspiring perseverance in the present. As afternoon approaches, physical training evolves into philosophical discussions. The samurai sit cross-legged on the tatami mats. They engage in conversations about honor, loyalty, and duty. Their thoughts sharpen, reflecting on their roles in society. The instructor challenges them to consider the implications of their lifestyle. How does a samurai embody the Bushido code? And what duties accompany such a life? Students reflect, understanding the weight of their commitment. Their conversations deepen friendships and foster understanding. Soon, the bell rings, signaling the end of training. The group bows to the instructor, expressing gratitude. Silence settles over the dojo once more. The sounds of nature from outside re-enter their awareness. A collective sense of accomplishment fills the air, lingering like the scent of incense. As they prepare to leave, samurai share a final meal together. A simple spread of rice and miso soup awaits them. This communal meal signifies respect. Each bite reflects the hard work and discipline practiced throughout the day. Sitting together, stories are exchanged, laughter fills the air, and their bonds solidify. Samurai savor the moment, realizing the importance of community. Shared meals create memories, just as training cultivates skills. With meals finished, spirits are high. Each samurai rises, ready to engage with their duties. Their obligations await. A sense of attentiveness fills the group as they mentally prepare for the day's tasks. Before departing, they express intentions to continue supporting one another. Strength lies in unity. As they head towards their separate paths, connections established in the dojo persist in their minds. They walk outside, discussing the responsibilities they will undertake. Each individual reflects upon future challenges. Thoughts of loyalty and service to their daimyo float through their minds. The burdens they carry connect them to the past and future. The sun slowly begins to descend, casting golden hues across the landscape. Every samurai knows these colors signify another day of service. With every step, each warrior is one with their duties. The way home is a common path, yet every experience along it is unique. They encounter the vibrant life of the village once more. People bustle around, engaged in their daily activities. Merchants hail customers to sell fresh produce. The same refreshing scents from earlier fill the air. Senses heighten as they notice the details of their surroundings more vividly. Sounds, sights, and aromas blend into an experience of community life. The samurai walking home feels connected, honored by their role. Upon entering their homes, they find moments of stillness. Evening has settled in gently. Family awaits attention. Here lies the balance between duty and kinship. The samurai engages in conversation, sharing tales of the day. This time spent with family strengthens their bonds. Two worlds intertwine, the rigorous expectations of a samurai life and the warmth of home. While duties are vital, family keeps them rooted. The evening progresses. Thoughts of the daimyo's requirements surface. Each samurai is vigilant, aware of the responsibilities they hold. In the fabric of their lives, loyalty weaves through. An understanding of their purpose persists. Now, as twilight deepens, the focus shifts to the lessons learned earlier. Gallant tales of honor and ethical duty linger heavily in the air. Future challenges await, and each warrior is determined. Preparations for service mold their minds. The journey of a samurai continues onward, a blend of past teachings and present obligations. Each lesson reinforces their identity. As evening sets, they reflect on training and their commitment to the daimyo. The experiences within the dojo guide their actions. Together, they formulate a sense of purpose moving forward. The journey as warriors, steeped in rich traditions, shapes their identity. This cycle of training and reflection continues as the day draws to a close. And so, the samurai's day unfolds once more. The rhythm of honor, duty, and family provides clarity. Each moment reaffirms their resolve. Beside them lies the heart of their journey, the path of a samurai continues. Opening lessons enrich knowledge and awaken a deeper appreciation for their cultural role. With every connection made, a legacy persists, driving the samurai onward. Transitioning from training, the next segment explores deeper lessons imparted by the masters. Further teachings will unveil the ethics deeply woven into their lives. Each lesson guides a samurai through the complexities of existence. The journey into their philosophical upbringing awaits exploration. The lessons imparted by masters unfolded with solemnity. A deep respect permeated the dojo. The coherence of tradition and practice resonated around the students. As they gathered, the atmosphere weighed with the importance of their shared purpose. One master, Sensei Yamada, stood at the front. His presence commanded attention. He began by speaking of honor. His words drew parallels with their daily lives. Honor is the shadows that guide a warrior, he stated clearly. His voice was measured and steady. Students listened intently, noting every word. Historical examples from the past decorated their discussions. Tales of warriors who upheld honor continued to inspire. Sensei Yamada spoke of Takeda Shingen, a famous warlord from the 16th century. Shingen had built a reputation based on respect. His tactics and relationships were carefully cultivated. As his teachings progressed, the concept of loyalty came into focus. Samurai understood the weight of loyalty. Disloyalty could lead to disgrace. It could also bring ruin upon families and clans. Examples forged from history surrounded these teachings. The integrity of samurai struck deep into their hearts. The lessons were not mere words, they were pathways to follow. In the corner of the dojo, students practiced diligently. Their wooden swords clashed softly against each other. The monotony of practice complemented the gravity of Yamada's teachings. It was a gentle reminder of the physicality of their roles. Each clash of wood echoed the historical battles fought for honor and loyalty. The afternoon sun bathed the room in warm light. It filtered through the rice paper windows, creating a serene ambience. The scent of polished wood mingled with the lingering odor of sweat and dedication. This environment shaped their focus, it molded their spirits. Eventually, discussions moved towards the samurai code known as Bushido. This term, meaning the way of the warrior, encapsulated their ethos. They explored its deeper meanings: courage, rectitude, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. Masters encouraged students to internalize these values. One student, Haruki, raised his hand. "How can we embody these teachings?" he asked. Sensei Yamada smiled gently. "By practicing them every day, in small ways," he replied. The simplicity of the answer resonated with everyone present. Further into the teachings, students took turns explaining how they saw Bushido at work. Discussions ranged from battlefield bravery to interactions with family members. Each reflection added a layer to their understanding. Their experiences accumulated like layers of lacquer applied to a wooden sword. As lessons concluded, attention turned to a shared meal. Miso soup and rice awaited them. The meal was simple but nourishing. It provided sustenance and a moment of camaraderie. They gathered around a low table, exchanging thoughts about the lessons. The warmth of the food mirrored the warmth of their shared purpose. Conversations meandered from philosophical musings to personal stories. Memories of their own journeys as samurai surfaced, deepening their connections. Together, they formed a tapestry woven from experiences, lessons, and mutual respect. Throughout this meal, laughter floated alongside discussions. The sound echoed against the wooden beams, creating a sense of unity. After the meal, each samurai returned to their respective duties. Energy flowed from discussions into practical responsibilities. The dojo remained a sanctuary, a space designated for reflection and discipline. Outside, the garden received their attention. Samurai understood the value of nature in fostering peace. Gardens often offered meditative spaces, filled with carefully arranged stones and flowing water. The gentle sound of a stream provided background music to their thoughts. One samurai approached a cherry blossom tree nearby. He admired its delicate petals, each one representing fleeting beauty. They often reminded him of the impermanence of life. The scenery encouraged reflections on their teachings. It was a moment for a deep breath, reminding each warrior to appreciate the present. As thoughts of their daimyo's requirements crept back into their minds, commitment grew stronger. Each samurai's resolve deepened. Minutes turned to hours, yet time felt suspended in the tranquility of the garden. Responsibilities awaited, yet the beauty around them imparted peace. Back in the dojo, preparations for duty began. Each samurai equipped himself for the tasks ahead. They donned their armor, a combination of metal and cloth, illustrating status and readiness. The clinks and clatters of gear echoed throughout the dojo. It was a sound both familiar and reassuring. Reflecting on the day's teachings, they understood the path ahead. Bushido illuminated their responsibilities. The journey continued to expand beyond the dojo. Each samurai considered his place within a larger framework. With duty came loyalty. These principles guided their actions outside the dojo's confines. Each pair of sandals touched the ground with purpose. Stepping back into their daily lives required vigilance. Castles loomed in the distance, homes to their lords. Responsibilities now bound them to the daimyo's estate. As they walked the path lined with trees swaying gently in the breeze, thoughts of loyalty echoed. Every samurai felt the weight of obligation. Their identities intertwined with the daimyo they served. The obligations expanded into the community they protected and defined. In the comfort of their family spaces, they reflected again. Conversations with loved ones reiterated the teachings. Each exchange reminded them of the balance they sought to maintain. It was a constant weaving of personal and public lives. The samurai's role stretched across multiple platforms. As evening approached, lanterns illuminated the streets. The flickering light added rhythm to the slow passage of time. Each warrior began to gather in their respective homes. It was a transition marked by soft sounds, the rustling of clothing, the pulling of doors, a soft voice welcoming back those who served. The evening followed a well-worn path. Gathered around a communal fire, they shared simple stories. The ambience encouraged reflections on their lessons of the day. The samurai found comfort in familiar routines. This life was a continual exploration of identity, honor, and duty. In the fading light, community discussions grew. The bond forged through shared struggles kept their spirits high. Each samurai felt solidarity with peers. Bonds of trust held firm through countless actions and duties. Turning towards responsibilities now set them into motion. The samurai must prepare for service. One samurai took a moment to grasp the weight of anticipation. An understanding of his role grew ever larger. As night deepened, it transformed the environment yet again. The quiet of the dusk invited introspection. Lessons lingered like shadows, ready to bring forth determination. Each samurai approached his bed currently primed for rest. With the day's burdens, the samurai found peace in the rhythm of these routines. Transitioning back into personal thoughts reminded each warrior of their journey. Beneath it all, they found shared narratives and unbreakable ties. The atmosphere held warmth amidst the somber thoughts of service. The combination of legacy, responsibility, and duty coexisted in harmony. The samurai's life reflected layers of meaning. As the evening settled, anticipation for the new day melded into their consciousness. Understanding deepened around the concepts learned and practiced. And so, the life of a samurai continues onward. As lessons are absorbed, the mantle of responsibility remains a powerful guide. Each interaction and experience feeds into this ongoing cycle. The day's rhythms fade but leave lingering impressions. Transitioning away from philosophical reflections brings to light the responsibilities expected of each samurai. There lies an intricate web created through service and loyalty. The path stretches out before them, solemn yet resolute. Thus, the journey as proud warriors continues, their commitments threading through time's fabric, reminding them always of their duty to uphold honor. The day of the samurai unfolded with a sense of purpose. Responsibilities began to take shape as they moved toward their duties. Each samurai understood the significance of their role as retainers. The duty to their daimyo was not just a job, it was a way of life. Throughout Japan, loyalty to the daimyo, or feudal lord, was paramount. Retainers swore oaths that bound them to serve without question. This bond was sacred, often marked by formal ceremonies. The samurai believed in the importance of honor, which guided their every action. On this day, one samurai, named Hiroshi, prepared himself for the tasks ahead. His loyalty fell to Daimyo Takeda, a prominent lord in the province of Shinano. Hiroshi's role included both military service and assistance in governance. He made sure to don his attire with care. While samurai clothing was typically simple, it reflected their status and dedication. Hiroshi wore a dark-colored kimono, funded by the daimyo's salary. As he tightened his sash, the history of his lineage weighed heavily. Samurai like Hiroshi often came from generations of warriors. Historical records indicated that many retained their positions in society for centuries. Stepping outside, the vibrant morning air greeted him. The sun rose gently over the distant mountains, casting a warm glow. With every step, he felt a mix of pride and responsibility. His way to the daimyo's estate was a familiar path. Fellow retainers greeted him along the way, sharing nods of acknowledgement and respect. On arriving at the estate, the landscape revealed well-kept gardens surrounding the main hall. The sight echoed the meticulous care of the lord's household. Records show that such estates were designed to reflect the wealth and power of the daimyo. Samurai served not only as warriors but also as examples of integrity. Retainers formed a hierarchy based on rank within the daimyo's service. A clear structure ensured that commands were followed. Lower-ranked samurai listened while higher ranks issued orders with authority. Hiroshi understood the balance of respect and duty. Within the halls, discussions about impending military obligations filled the air. Officers planned strategies for future confrontations. Meetings would calendar events focused on defense and prosperity. Every decision made could alter the fate of the province. In the midst of these preparations, the foundation of loyalty involved significant expectations. Retainers were responsible for maintaining the peace in their region. Their duty extended beyond mere fighting. They helped with local governance, ensuring order and stability. This duality often presented challenges. Hiroshi's thoughts drifted to how samurai influenced the social structure. The role of the samurai was tied closely to the broader societal norms. Their presence in local matters was not only for enforcing authority. The established respect and reverence were crucial in promoting harmony among the villagers. As a proud warrior, Hiroshi found purpose in defending the weak. The bond between samurai and the populace was intricate. Many samurai collected taxes on behalf of the daimyo, which provided them with resources. However, this often attracted resentment from the common folk. Samurai like Hiroshi were expected to act justly. Records reveal that it was not uncommon for samurai to intervene on behalf of those in distress. Such deeds prompted loyalty from commoners, enriching both community ties and trust. These actions reinforced the social contract between warrior and farmer. As his duties continued, Hiroshi remembered the teachings of his masters. Master Matsumoto had often spoken of Bushido, the samurai code. This code emphasized honor, bravery, and loyalty. Each tenet resonated deeply within Hiroshi. It guided his actions during laborious days like today. Lunch approached, marking a moment of respite in the busy hours. Samurai meals were often simple, reflecting practicality rather than luxury. A typical diet included rice, vegetables, and occasionally fish. The shared meal often reinforced not just physical strength, but also unity among warriors. Hiroshi watched as fellow samurai gathered to eat. Their conversations were imbued with light-hearted banter. Moments of laughter punctuated the otherwise dedicated atmosphere. They spoke of past battles, tales of valor echoed through the dining area. After the meal, the next duty awaited. Hiroshi joined several retainers to patrol the surrounding land. Keeping watch was essential for security. Peasants relied on samurai protection against thieves and bandits. The land recorded centuries of turmoil, ensuring safety became an essential function of their role. As they walked, they observed the fields where peasants toiled diligently. The sounds of labor intermingled with conversations from nearby villages. The bond between samurai and commoners became ever more apparent. Their duty extended beyond combat; they provided stability to the agrarian society. On the patrol, discussions turned toward recent political developments. Reports indicated that other provinces faced unrest. Daimyo Takeda's leadership could be challenged if not carefully managed. Any sign of disloyalty could lead to upheaval. Hiroshi felt the weight of this knowledge. Returning to the estate, preparations for an upcoming festival commenced. This festival honored the agricultural spirits, a tradition held dear by all. The daimyo ordered celebrations to promote goodwill among the villages. Therefore, samurai participated in orchestrating festivities, connecting them to the people they served. Amidst the work, Hiroshi treasured moments of stillness. He reflected on the influence of samurai in the lives of everyday people. All were intricately tied to the cycle of giving and receiving. Understanding the weight of their roles formed a core part of their identity. As evening descended, the shadows grew longer. The day's responsibilities would soon transition to evening reflection. The samurai gathered once more to discuss their experiences. Strategic insights exchanged during this time were vital. Hiroshi sat at the center of their discussions; the camaraderie offered him reassurance. They examined the day's challenges with perspectives broader than any single individual. Lessons learned reinforced their collective strengths. Thus, siestas merged with the game of strategy amidst the setting sun. Now came the moment of shared purpose and pride. The responsibilities within the samurai's life wove a theme of loyalty, honor, and sacrifice. Each encounter strengthened their dedication to their daimyo. Through these actions, the bond between the samurai and their lord transformed over time. Eventually, the day drew to a close. The samurai returned home, feeling fulfilled and vigilant. Underneath the burden of duty lay a mantle of dignity. Hiroshi sensed the coming night would bring rest, yet dreams of honor and duty awaited him. As the stars began to twinkle, gilt armor marked the passage of time. All remained ready to uphold their commitments as tomorrow's duties beckoned. Even the whispers of ancestral spirits filled the air with an understanding of responsibility. Through these moments, the legacy of the samurai continued to thrive. The intertwining lives of warriors, lords, and common folk formed a narrative rich in depth. Each day reaffirmed the very essence of who they were. This was not just their duty but a way of life. And so, the relationship with the daimyo shifted towards deeper meanings. With loyalty intact, each samurai engaged with their lord's vision of governance and peace. The weight of history hung as a guiding light through the trials of everyday existence. Now, as the sun slipped further below the horizon, new aspects of the samurai experience awaited exploration. The complexities of their relationships with lords and peers formed the backbone of this enduring legacy. Each interaction resonated within the fabric of samurai existence, nurturing their identities through shared honor. Transitioning from these duties and interactions leads us deeper into the bonds between samurai and their daimyo. In examining these relationships, insights emerge about loyalty, respect, and the delicate art of governance. This world of fealty and tribute signifies a legacy forged over generations. The relationship between samurai and their daimyo was intricate. Loyalty served as the foundation of their bond. A samurai's honor reflected their lord's reputation. Historical texts detail oaths taken in solemn ceremonies. One crucial ceremony involved the sakazuki, or exchanging of cups of sake. This ritual occurred to affirm mutual trust. It symbolized a bond stronger than mere words. In 1582, records show Tokugawa Ieyasu engaged in such a ceremony with trusted samurai. The act solidified their loyalty in the context of military alliances. Ceremonial exchanges, such as gifts, were common demonstrations of loyalty. A fine sword might be presented as a token of respect. These traditions highlighted an established hierarchy among samurai. Each gift bore meaning, reinforcing the connection to their daimyo. Samurai trained to uphold these values. Their lives revolved around duty and honor. Daily practice instilled a sense of purpose. Each action was intertwined with loyalty to their lord. The teachings from the dojo often emphasized this crucial aspect of samurai life. The effects of these teachings could be seen in communities. Samurai who served honorable daimyo often gained respect. The people within their territories viewed them with admiration. Records from the Edo period reference successful daimyos as benevolent rulers. The exchange of gifts between a daimyo and samurai exemplified their relationship. The daimyo rewarded loyal service by bestowing lands or titles. Such rewards fostered a sense of belonging among samurai. This encouraged their continual dedication to the daimyo's vision. As the day continued, samurai often gathered to discuss strategies. Sharing insights proved vital for upholding the status of their lord. Such meetings were not only about tactics. They also reinforced their loyalty to one another. The camaraderie developed during these encounters built strong alliances. For example, discussions about upcoming battles would utilize previous experiences. Samurai shared tales from the Siege of Osaka in 1614. They discussed strategies that led to both victory and failure. Lessons from such events informed their future actions. The past guided their commitment to honor and loyalty. Further, these interactions offered knowledge about the political landscape. Samurai became well informed about local issues. Their position granted them insight into the needs of the people. Samurai served as intermediaries, facilitating communication between the daimyo and commoners. As advisors, samurai often took on roles in governance. This included advising their daimyo on state affairs. Legal matters arose often, resulting in deliberations among samurai. They occupied roles in legal councils established in the late 17th century. Such roles reinforced their importance in securing order and stability. Notably, governance required practical knowledge as well as loyalty. Samurai had to possess skills to navigate their responsibilities. Many studied literature, law, and philosophy as part of their training. Texts from the time reflect how samurai balanced military and civic duties. Discussions among samurai extended beyond mere tactics. They encompassed ethical considerations as well. While strategizing, they remained mindful of the samurai code of Bushido. This code underscored virtues such as loyalty, courage, and honor. As loyalty to the daimyo guided their actions, respect emerged as vital too. Samurai recognized that their status depended on their lord's welfare. Thus, they maintained vigilance over the daimyo's estate. This vigilance was evident during ceremonial occasions. Samurai would line the paths as their lord journeyed between their residencies. Ceremonies often featured elaborate processions, emphasizing status. Historical accounts mention the distinctive appearance of samurai in full armor. Spectators observed splendor displayed through banners, weapons, and garments. Each aspect symbolized the strength of the bond shared with their daimyo. Even during peacetime, these customs persisted as part of tradition. Samurai dedicated time to ceremonial preparations and practices. They engaged actively in community gatherings. Festivals allowed samurai to showcase their commitment to their daimyo. In 1660, records illustrate grand festivals held in honor of victorious daimys. Such celebrations embodied shared community identity, while also reinforcing loyalty. In addition, these public displays of unity offered reassurance to the populace. The presence of samurai safeguarded the people from external threats. Their vigilance signaled a promise of protection from violence or conflict. Consequently, samurai became viewed not just as warriors, but as guardians. Ultimately, the samurai's role extended beyond warfare. Governance and community involvement were crucial facets of their lives. Their relationship with the daimyo essentially molded their existence. Each act of loyalty interwove into the fabric of samurai culture. Now, this complex relationship fostered further layers of belonging. Trust and mutual support became cornerstones of samurai identity. Their roles encompassed many responsibilities, but loyalty remained paramount. With each passing moment of the day, their dedication deepened. As thoughts continued to swirl around the samurai's relationship with the daimyo, the evening unfolded. Discussions flowed with the fading light. Each interaction showcased the depth of connections formed over time. In the intimate spaces where samurai gathered, the exchange of ideas flourished. They shared their thoughts about impending political changes. The emergence of strong daimyos altered the landscape for all samurai involved. Now, the importance of these bonds became clear. The relationship mattered in times of conflict and peace alike. Each samurai's identity was intertwined with their lord's fate. The twilight of the day called to reflect on their past, present, and future. Even as they contemplated these matters, the rhythm of life persisted. The samurai would begin to prepare for evening leisure activities. Yet, the responsibilities of loyalty would linger in their minds. Transitioning now from this sense of duty, camaraderie develops among peers. Interaction fosters bonds essential for samurai life. Knowing one another intimately creates mutual support essential in times of conflict. The next part of the story unfolds in this sphere of shared experiences, loyalty, and brotherhood. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, the camaraderie among peers deepened. Daily interactions often occurred in the spaces reserved for meetings. The shadows in the room lengthened, mirroring the retreating day. Whispered discussions of strategy filled the air. Samurai gathered in intimate groups, sharing their knowledge and insights. They exchanged ideas about military tactics honed on the battlefield. Friendly debates often arose, fostering a spirit of competition. This spirit encouraged growth and improvement among warriors. More established samurai mentored younger ones. The exchange of advice was essential for ensuring the continuity of skills. They focused on everything from sword techniques to strategic planning. Many lessons were derived from their shared experiences in past battles. One figure, known for his combat skills, was Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi, born in 1584, is renowned as one of Japan's most famous swordsmen. His writings on strategy, particularly the Book of Five Rings, have become legendary. Discussions surrounding Musashi's famous duels were common. Samurai admired his talent and sought to learn from his techniques. In this warm, glowing light, a spirit of brotherhood prevailed. Each warrior's presence reinforced their shared identity. They regarded each other as allies. Trust was integral, as they all faced the prospect of battle together. Around them, the scent of wood smoke mingled with the evening air. Samurai often gathered around small fires or communal spaces. The nights allowed relaxation after a day of commitments and service. Cups of warm sake or tea were passed between friends. They spoke of dreams and aspirations for the future. Conversations meandered like soft currents in a stream, drifting easily from topic to topic. Narratives of past glories wove through the discussions. Tales shifted between humorous anecdotes and graver matters. The laughter would sometimes halt, giving way to solemn reflections. As the hours slipped by, the conversations gradually shifted to shared responsibilities. They spoke of approaching conflicts or potential threats. Each warrior considered their role in maintaining peace. The continuing presence of unrest in the region weighed on their minds. Samurai also discussed community matters that required attention. They collaborated on plans to assist local farmers or resolve disputes. These acts solidified their status as protectors within the village. Awareness of their responsibilities to the community was inherent. Beyond camaraderie, these interactions bred unity. Samurai fostered a shared understanding of their societal roles. Conversations often touched upon the relationships with their daimyo. These discussions allowed samurai to align their personal ambitions with those of their lords. As twilight settled outside, the camaraderie created an atmosphere of support. The transition between day and night mirrored the fluid nature of warrior life. Evening conversations often ended with plans for the next day. This planning highlighted the constant nature of their duties. They remained vigilant, ready for any challenges that lay ahead. Each warrior understood that preparation was vital. As the day drew to a close, the samurai took a moment to reflect. Each warrior sat in contemplation. The lingering warmth of fellowship filled the room. They acknowledged how pivotal these moments were in shaping their bonds. With deeper connections forged, the next stage of life unfolded. Leisure activities offered a shift in focus from the day's discussions. Evening events provided a much-needed respite from their rigorous routines. Now attention turned to how they would unwind. Leisure was essential in the lives of samurai. It provided balance to the demands of their responsibilities. Activities varied greatly, from artistic pursuits to physical challenges. Poetry, music, and combat drills intertwined seamlessly. Such pastimes reinforce skills while nurturing creativity and enjoyment. Following the flow of leisure, camaraderie took new forms. Samurai often engaged in poetry competitions, testing their literary skills. They composed verses reflecting honor, beauty, and nature. Notable figures such as Matsu Bash flourished during this period, excelling as poets. Bash, who lived in the 17th century, shaped the art of haiku. His influence carried throughout samurai circles. The simplicity of his work resonated deeply with their values. Listening to music was another leisure pursuit. Samurai appreciated instruments like the shamisen and flute. Music created an atmosphere of relaxation and reflection. Traditional gatherings featured performances, where musicians entertained. The haunting melodies nestled into the quiet ambience. Sounds drew smiles from listeners. The experience united them in shared enjoyment. Physical practices also formed a critical aspect of evening activities. Archery was one favored pastime, linking skill with discipline. Targets were set across open fields, illuminated by the moon. The sharp twang of bows accompanied the thud of arrows striking their marks. Each shot required focus and precision. Nighttime archery sessions refined skills, further honing their abilities. As the evening deepened, samurai often engaged in light-hearted competitions. These contests fostered friendship and lively interactions. It was here that youthful enthusiasm flourished. Rivalries emerged, yet they remained friendly in spirit. For many, these moments of leisure became a cherished part of life. They provided time to reflect and recharge. The laughter and shared experiences would carry through to the next day. Transitioning into deeper relaxation, samurai often gathered in communal spaces. The exchange of stories inspired philosophical discussions. Each member contributed their thoughts, building upon one another's ideas. As discussions continued, they faced broader themes of honor and duty. Their lives were woven into larger narratives that shaped their identities. These moments underscored the importance of the bonds they formed. And so, as the night continued and discussions lingered, the samurai embraced life's complexities. The balance of duty and leisure formed the core of their existence. Even amidst responsibilities, the power of camaraderie remained. The relationships they fostered during these times became fundamental to their lives. Samurai understood the importance of maintaining connection with one another. Soon, attention would shift back to community and duty. Yet for now, the essence of their bonds resonated in the conversations that surrounded them. Moments spent together would linger in memory, reinforcing their commitment to one another. As the night faded into early dawn, the rhythm of life persisted. The balance of responsibilities awaited, along with the call of duty. With this background of interactions blossoming in shared experiences, focus now shifts to leisure activities. These pursuits allowed samurai to express creativity and cultivate harmony. They intertwine deeply with the fabric of daily existence, shaping their identities within a collective. Leisure activities played an essential role in the lives of samurai. They engaged in pursuits that allowed them to unwind and express their individuality. Through these activities, they found balance amidst their rigorous training and responsibilities. One common pastime was poetry writing. Samurai wrote haiku and other forms of poetry. This practice fostered creativity and reflection. Records show that the art of writing was highly esteemed among samurai circles. They used elegant brushes and unique ink to create their verses. In 17th century Japan, the aesthetics of poetry were deeply appreciated. Samurai often competed in writing challenges. These contests highlighted their skills and offered opportunities for public recognition. Winners gained honor and respect from peers. Listening to music also formed a significant part of their leisure. Instrumental music played a soothing role in daily life. Instruments like the shamisen and the shakuhachi filled the air with calming melodies. These sounds provided a tranquil backdrop for conversations and gatherings. Samurai were not only consumers of music but also performers. They often participated in musical gatherings, showcasing their talents. During these occasions, laughter and conversations infused the air, creating a communal atmosphere. The blend of music and camaraderie strengthened bonds among them. In addition to poetry and music, no theatre emerged as a favored cultural pursuit. Originating in the 14th century, no offered a slow, deliberate form of drama. Samurai valued its intricate storytelling and symbolic representations. Spectators would sit quietly, absorbing the performance's deeper meanings. No plays often depicted samurai themes, drawing on their own lives. Samurai found reflections of their values in the characters portrayed. The careful movements and exquisite masks captivated audiences' attention, creating a unique experience. Archery remained an important part of samurai culture during leisure time. They practiced precision with bows and arrows, ensuring skills remained sharp. This activity became a reflection of discipline and focus. Historical accounts reveal that competition spurred on community engagement. One famous event was the Ogasawara Awai archery ceremony. Held in the 16th century, this ceremony emphasized the elegance of archery. Samurai participated, aiming to perfect their shots in the midst of spectators. The event illustrated the blend of competition and discipline inherent in samurai life. The outdoors often served as the setting for these gatherings. Nature offered a serene backdrop against which various activities unfolded. The sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves provided a calming ambience. This connection to the earth was fundamental to their sense of peace. Outdoor gatherings allowed for the enjoyment of drinks, particularly sake. Sake held social significance and was often shared during meals. The nuanced flavors complemented the conversations that flowed easily amongst friends. These shared moments encouraged friendships and bolstered community ties. In communal settings, samurai would also engage in discussions about art and philosophy. They debated various ideas, gaining different perspectives through discourse. Philosophical conversations emphasized the importance of knowledge and understanding. These discussions often stretched late into the night. While leisure time allowed for self-expression, it also served as a reminder of their duties. A samurai's life revolved around vigilance and preparedness. They understood that relaxation had its place, but so did their responsibilities. Time spent in leisure was an essential balance in their disciplined lives. As evening approached, samurai prepared to shift focus back to the community. They recognized the significance of contributing to the well-being of those around them. In summary, the leisure activities of samurai provided a multifaceted existence. They expressed creativity through poetry and music. They honed skills in archery and enjoyed the companionship of fellow samurai. Each pursuit enhanced their sense of identity and connection to history. As the sun set and dusk settled in, discussion turned towards community involvement. Engagement with local events and festivals awaited them. This shift from leisure to duty highlighted the broader responsibilities samurai held within their society. The transition from relaxation to community service was fluid. It reinforced the deeply rooted values of duty and honor guiding samurai lives. Each week brought fresh opportunities to support their towns, nurturing the bonds of loyalty. Samurai involvement in their communities shaped the fabric of daily life. Each samurai played a role in ensuring communal harmony. Their service extended beyond the battlefield. Engaging with townspeople was essential for fostering respect. They assisted with agricultural tasks, helping farmers with harvests. This action was not merely duty but a form of respect for the land. Farmers provided the food essential for samurai sustenance. Historical documents from the Edo period showcase this cooperation. Every spring, communities celebrated the rice planting festival. Samurai often participated, symbolizing their connection to peasant life. They helped prepare fields and offered blessings for a fruitful harvest. Arising together in festivals created bonds between classes. Samurai's involvement showcased their humility and leadership. In addition to agricultural support, samurai took part in local governance. They acted as mediators in disputes and guided decision-making. Each daimyo often appointed samurai to oversee local affairs. These roles ensured that justice was maintained within their province. Records from the Tokugawa shogunate indicate the responsibilities of local samurai. They organized community defense, maintaining peace during unrest. This duty often required non-violent mediation, emphasizing their training. Samurai had to solve conflicts rather than escalate them. Samurai also supervised public works. They ensured roads remained clear for travel and trade. These tasks were essential for the economic well-being of their domain. Drawings from the period illustrate robust working relationships between samurai and laborers. Together, they built a sense of community pride. Every summer, towns held festivals that invited samurai participation. These events showcased local culture and traditions. Samurai wore their formal clothing, representing their status and grace. Parades often included traditional music and dances performed by local artists. Teas, rice cakes, and sweets offered during festivities fostered camaraderie. Shared food promoted communal unity, enveloping townsfolk in a sense of joy. A samurai's presence reinforced their commitment to protecting and serving the community. In these moments, the lines between classes blurred. Samurai found shared experiences with villagers beneath the cherry blossoms. The transitory beauty of spring encouraged a spirit of togetherness. Through this participation, the samurai cultivated respect and loyalty among townspeople. Community events also highlighted the importance of education. Samurai often sponsored schools to educate local children. Education was considered a vital component of a prosperous society. The values of discipline and respect they embodied were integral in student teachings. Records indicate that samurai arranged for scholars to teach local youth. These lessons included poetry, calligraphy, and ethics. Children learned not only academic skills but also the importance of Bushido. Samurai understood that cultivating the future generation was essential. Engagement within their communities instilled a sense of purpose. Each interaction reaffirmed a samurai's commitment to their role in society. As the day continued, the focus remained on the impact of these contributions. Through communal responsibilities, samurai forged deep connections. They fostered respect and loyalty amongst those they served. The intertwining of lives shaped Japan's landscape during the Edo period. Each festival celebrated resilience and unity, strengthening bonds across social classes. To reflect on this extensive involvement, it's evident that samurai lives were multifaceted. They upheld traditions while contributing to the community's growth. Their dedication ensured that samurai principles of honor persisted through generations. As this aspect of samurai life unfolds, a significant historical event looms on the horizon. The connections forged would soon lead to conflicts that changed Japan's history forever. The next notable moment in samurai history exemplifies their evolving role. Now, the focus shifts to a defining moment that shaped the samurai's purpose. We turn our attention to the Battle of Sekigahara. This crucial encounter would mark the beginning of the Tokugawa shogunate in the early 1600s. The struggles and outcomes of this battle would resonate for centuries to come. The Battle of Sekigahara occurred on October 21, 1600. This clash involved powerful samurai factions battling for control of Japan. The two primary forces were the Tokugawa clan and the Toyotomi clan. Tokugawa Ieyasu led the Tokugawa team into this pivotal encounter. Prior to the battle, Japan was in a state of turmoil. Warlords fought to consolidate their power. These conflicts stemmed from the unrest following the death of Toyotomi Hideyoshi in 1598. Following his passing, various factions sought dominance. The Tokugawa sought to secure their position within this chaotic landscape. The battlefield stretched across the Kanto region. It was strategically significant, controlling crucial routes through Japan. These routes facilitated trade and military movements. The location presented advantages and challenges for all involved. As the day of the battle arrived, samurai donned their armor. Warriors prepared meticulously, checking weapons and supplies. The morning air was brisk, filled with tension and anticipation. Both sides amassed their troops, totaling approximately 160,000 warriors. History shows that the Tokugawa had advantages. They secured alliances with key clans. These alliances provided strategic support. Many samurai considered the Tokugawa cause to be a just one. The Toyotomi were seen as overreaching their power. The battle commenced at dawn, with signals of war echoing across the field. Tokugawa troops advanced quickly, bolstered by their newfound allies. The clash of swords and armor filled the air. Cries of battle punctuated the morning fog. Combat unfurled in various segments over the day. Samurai engaged in hand-to-hand conflict, demonstrating skills perfected through years of training. They fought with loyalty for their respective clans. The chaos was mesmerizing and terrifying, striking awe into any observer. Records indicate that the battlefield was a scene of equal parts glory and horror. As fighting intensified, positions changed quickly. Strategies were implemented and adapted moment by moment. An eye-catching feature was the use of gunpowder weapons. Firearms had recently been introduced to Japan. They altered the dynamics of samurai combat. Many associates of Tokugawa Ieyasu quickly seized opportunities. They rallied their forces and struck at crucial moments. Ambush strategies played vital roles. These tactics turned the tide, pushing back Toyotomi forces. Nonetheless, both factions displayed notable displays of valor throughout the conflict. The battle culminated with the defeat of the Toyotomi. Only a fraction of their warriors survived this critical clash. The aftermath revealed the devastating impact of this encounter. Political landscapes began to shift dramatically throughout Japan. This battle established the Tokugawa shogunate, which lasted over 250 years. The weeks following the battle saw further consolidation of power. Tokugawa Ieyasu emerged as a central figure in Japanese history. His leadership style set precedents for future governance. Historical accounts illustrate that the repercussions of Sekigahara were profound. It reshaped alliances, and family ties among samurai often shifted due to the conflict. Many samurai were displaced as loyalties changed. New hierarchies emerged, forming the foundation for the Edo period stability. Records indicate that the effective governance of Tokugawa shifted Japanese society. Peace began to reign, though it was enforced through rigid control. By establishing a centralized government, the Tokugawa allowed commerce and culture to flourish. Many samurai adapted to this new era. They shifted from battlefield warriors to administrators and educators. This transition was vital for their sustainability within society. The teachings of Bushido continued, but within a different context. The lessons built from the Battle of Sekigahara permeated samurai life. They reflected the importance of loyalty, strategy, and education. Samurai began focusing on the governance of the peaceful society. Now, the story transitions from this pivotal event to a legendary figure. Yamato Takeru, a semi-legendary samurai, provides insights into lore and tradition. His exploits illustrate ideals important to an understanding of samurai identity. The narrative surrounding Yamato Takeru shaped samurai culture over centuries. Through tales of bravery, resilience, and skill, Takeru's legacy formed an integral part of samurai ethos. The tales remain endearing and relevant. They carry valuable lessons and echoes of the past. Yamato Takeru lived during the late 1st century. His story unfolds in the ancient accounts of Japanese history. Tales of his adventures showcase the qualities esteemed in samurai culture. These narratives blend historical facts with mythological elements. Records indicate Takeru was the son of Emperor Jin. His travels across the archipelago are well documented in the Nihon Shoki, or Chronicles of Japan. This classic text was compiled in 720 AD. It serves as a primary source for understanding early Japanese history and samurai lore. Takeru's exploits include his campaign against the Tokushima tribes. In one notable account, he faced adversaries skilled in guerrilla tactics. Historical insights illustrate how he utilized strategy over brute force. Takeru engaged in cunning maneuvers. He often outsmarted his enemies through calculated planning. According to legends, Takeru wielded a special sword, known as Kusanagi. This divine blade symbolizes strength and honor. Stories tell of how he received it during a fierce battle with an 8-headed serpent. Such symbolic artifacts were important. They illustrated the status and virtues of the samurai. His legendary battles continued throughout his life. In one significant confrontation, he traveled to the region of Koshi. Historical accounts describe the difficulties he faced there. The terrain was challenging, laden with dense forests and steep mountains. Takeru's determination was evident. He gained renown for his bravery and tactical prowess. Trials in each battle enhanced his reputation among the samurai. Takeru's victories inspired many within the warrior class. His actions reflected the principles of Bushido, the samurai code. Tales of right and wrong guided his decisions, emphasizing loyalty and courage. Over time, the stories transformed into legendary folklore. Oral traditions spread across Japan, deepening his impact on culture. With each retelling, his character grew larger than life. Many samurai viewed his achievements as exemplifying their own ideals. Yet, not all Takeru's tales celebrate victory. One notably tragic tale recounts his final campaign. In this account, Takeru faced an overwhelming force in battle. The narrative reveals his deep commitment to his people. Even in peril, the samurai code dictated his actions. The legends illustrate how Yamato Takeru's journey reflects fundamental aspects of samurai culture. These stories emphasize values critical to identity. Loyalty, bravery, and honor became benchmarks for samurai to aspire to. As generations passed, the reverence for Takeru remained steadfast. His story embodied the ideal warrior in the minds of many. Kyoto and other major cities commemorated his legacy through shrines. Temples dedicated to Takeru served as a nexus of cultural memory. Archaeological evidence supports these narratives. Sites across Japan reveal artifacts pointing to the reverence for Takeru. Examination of burial sites describes the artifacts left behind. Swords, ceremonial items, and records demonstrate the importance of this figure. Historians note that the enduring legacy of Yamato Takeru mirrors the transformation of samurai culture. As Japan evolved, the samurai adapted these traditional ideals. They retained the virtues and values associated with Takeru. By the Edo period, samurai were no longer solely warriors. Many adopted roles as scholars and administrators. Yet, the echoes of Takeru's valor continued to shape their lives. His tales influenced the arts, literature, and the modern conception of samurai ethos. Transitions in society marked a shift in representation. The symbolic nature of Yamato Takeru influenced popular culture. Kabuki theater often showcased his stories, reflecting ongoing interest. Visual art depicted his legend, spreading knowledge of his exploits. Scholars like Akira Matsumura emphasize the significance of these narratives. The exploration of Takeru's life reveals the cultural identity of Japan. His importance transcends mere storytelling. Takeru's persona embodies ideals persisting into contemporary society. Propagating his legacy creates an understanding of the samurai world. The enduring tales allow insights into their motivations and aspirations. They provide reflections of the changing roles within society. Now attention turns to archaeological findings connected to the samurai. Discoveries offer tangible links to the past, merging history and myth. Each unearthed artifact unveils aspects of the samurai's existence. Investigations reveal valuable insights regarding daily routines and cultural practices. Archaeological evidence shows traces of samurai residencies. Excavations in locations like Kamakura yield artifacts from the Kamakura period. Researchers have uncovered weapons, tools, and remnants of everyday life. In 1952, archaeologists discovered a substantial samurai site in Kawagoe. Items found included armor fragments and a variety of weapons. These objects provided important context for understanding samurai warfare. The tools reflected combat styles and tactical approaches favored during their time. Further studies indicate that samurai maintained specific burial customs. The manner of interring the deceased reveals societal structures. Graves sometimes contained weapons, armor, and personal belongings. Researchers trace these practices back through centuries of recorded history. The significance of these findings extends beyond mere curiosities. Each piece contributes to the larger narrative of samurai life. They help illustrate kinship ties, social hierarchies, and even trade practices. Exploration into these discoveries helps historians connect artifacts to the daily existence of samurai. The methods employed in these excavations are precise and structured. Scholars like Hiroshi Ishikawa advocate for careful analysis of context. Understanding the situational background of each discovery is crucial. It ensures a comprehensive comprehension of the samurai's role in society. By examining spirituality through archaeological lens, researchers uncover cultural practices. Remnants of rituals reflect beliefs about honor and the afterlife. Findings associated with tombs and shrines reveal connections to ancestral worship. As the discoveries deepen understanding, a richer depiction of the samurai emerges. They were warriors, yes, but also caretakers of their communities. Their roles were not confined to battlefields, but extended into spiritual and social realms. Now, focus shifts to the burial practices and the importance of ritual. The examinations reveal how samurai approached death and legacy. Samurai were buried with elaborate ceremonies. Rituals included purification rites meant to honor both the living and the dead. Offerings, such as food and weapons, accompanied the deceased. Their graves became places of remembrance for families. Burials often involved the entire community. This inclusion emphasized the connections between samurai and their clans. Participation reflected communal respect and reaffirmed bonds of loyalty. The connection to ancestors became a vital component of samurai life. Ritual observances maintained links between generations. Conversations surrounding these traditions illustrate a deep reverence for history. Archaeological studies have highlighted significant burial sites. Excavated gravesite findings unveil cultural practices over centuries. Evidence reveals the significance of group and individual identities among samurai. Through careful examination, historians understand the spiritual implications of these practices. The emphasis on weapons and armor signifies social status. These items played a crucial role in the samurai's perception of honor and duty. Each find adds layers to the understanding of the warrior's purpose and beliefs. Rituals affirmed their positions within society, illustrating depth to their experiences. The cycle of life, death, and legacy defined the samurai's perspective. Ceremonial practices served as profound markers of their experiences. The memories encapsulated within these rituals remain significant. They echo the resilience of the samurai legacy across generations. Now, the exploration shifts to the ritual of tea within samurai culture. The preparation and appreciation of tea fostered moments of tranquility amid tumultuous lives. The tea ceremony, known as chanoyu, emphasized harmony, respect, and tranquility. Samurai immersed themselves in these rituals, showcasing their mindfulness. The ceremonies fostered a deeper understanding of social connections. Utensils used in these practices were selected with great care. Bamboo whisks and ceramic bowls became symbols of serenity. The process of tea preparation involved precision and patience. Historical records document the art of tea preparation becoming popularized in the 15th century. The aesthetic appeal of the ceremony deepened its significance within samurai culture. Participating in a tea ceremony provided respite for samurai. The moments shared over tea became an opportunity for reflection. Discussions often centered around philosophical concepts and codes of conduct. The rituals imbued the preparation of tea with deeper meaning. The act of serving tea drew on principles inherent to samurai ethics. Acts of kindness and respect resonated through every interaction. As traditions evolved, the importance of ceremonial practices transformed. Tea gatherings among samurai illustrated shifts towards culture and arts. The calming nature of the rituals contrasted with the warrior's life. Thus, the exploration of samurai culture continues through the lenses of social connection and tradition. Their daily routines, intertwined with profound values, persisted through generations. As the evening lanterns flicker softly, the legacy of samurai life offers a window into a world both structured and fluid. A continual dance of duty, honor, and mindfulness shaped their existence, leaving a lasting imprint on history. Transitioning now, attention turns to the life of high-ranking samurai. Insights into this elite existence begin to reveal distinctions marking their lifestyle. High-ranking samurai lived in grand residences known as mansions. These homes reflected their social status within the hierarchy. They were larger than those of lower-ranked samurai, often surrounded by gardens. Surroundings included well-tended trees and serene water features. Records indicate that high-ranking samurai possessed more luxurious furnishings. Their homes were adorned with delicate screens and paper lanterns. The architecture showcased intricate designs, combining beauty and functionality. Family crests often decorated the walls, emphasizing their noble lineage. In 1615, the construction of many samurai mansions expanded across Japan. Elite samurai sought to demonstrate authority and cultural refinement through their homes. Traditional Japanese aesthetics played a crucial role in design. Spaces were organized to facilitate both work and leisure. High-ranking samurai enjoyed meals consisting of a diverse range of foods. Rice, fish, vegetables, and meats were staples in their diets. Seasonal fruits also featured prominently in their meals, enhancing variety. Cooking techniques were refined to showcase culinary arts. Archaeological findings from meal remnants reveal dietary habits among samurai. In many instances, fish was grilled or boiled with herbs. In 1792, a cook's manual provided insights into favored recipes of the elite class. These recipes were reflective of the samurai's cultural tastes and lifestyle. Ceremonial gatherings at their mansions often displayed wealth and influence. Such occasions included banquets and important anniversaries. High-ranking samurai showcased elaborate dishes, displaying artistry in presentation. Guests were treated with exceptional hospitality during these events. Interactions during these gatherings were governed by strict etiquette. Conversations often revolved around politics, culture, and warfare. The flow of dialogue carefully adhered to societal norms and hierarchies. Knowledge of historical events and poetry was highly valued. The attire of high-ranking samurai reflected their elevated status. They wore fine silks embellished with intricate patterns. Often, colors and designs indicated rank within the samurai class. Elements such as crest and embroidery provided visual cues of their status. The intricacies of samurai clothing included an undergarment called juban. This garment was worn beneath the kimono, serving as a sign of meticulousness. Footwear, too, varied. High-ranking samurai often wore sandals made from high-quality materials. The attention to attire was part of their projected image of authority. Records show that samurai maintained a standard of presentation. During the Edo period, the significance of appearance was crucial. The philosophy of Kotoku emphasized personal grooming and attire. This instilled respect and authority in all aspects of samurai life. In their residences, samurai often engaged in various cultural pursuits. The appreciation of arts, such as poetry and painting, was routine. Scholars mention high-ranking samurai patronizing artists and craftsmen. This relationship enhanced cultural development in feudal Japan. Music played a vital role in the leisure of high-ranking samurai. They enjoyed performances of classical instruments, such as the shamisen. Evening gatherings featured musicians who captivated guests with traditional melodies. The sounds contributed to an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. But as life within the mansions thrived, connections with lower-ranked samurai remained essential. Historical records highlight interactions among different samurai ranks. These connections often facilitated communication and alliances during times of conflict. Despite the luxury, high-ranking samurai bore heavy responsibilities. They were expected to lead troops in battle and govern their domains. The burden of leadership often weighed heavily on their shoulders. Decrees enacted during the Tokugawa era dictated their role as both warrior and administrator. During the day, high-ranking samurai would also partake in ceremonial duties. These may include overseeing local affairs or attending meetings with their daimyo. Each obligation reinforced their position within the feudal structure. Evening winds often carried whispers of political tension among clans. Thus, the lifestyle of high-ranking samurai represented both privilege and duty. The balance between leisure and responsibility defined their existence. While they enjoyed comfort, their influences stretched into the lives of others. As the sun began to set, the transition between day and night represented more than time. It marked cycles in leadership, culture, and samurai values. The profound social structures influenced interactions with lower-ranked samurai. Transitioning now, attention turns to the lives of lower-ranked samurai, who lived in stark contrast. Their simpler existence illustrates the other side of this hierarchical society. The lives of lower-ranked samurai unfolded in a markedly different fashion. They resided in modest homes made of wood and clay, often in small villages. Their daily lives revolved around specific routines dictated by duty and necessity. Morning often began early, just as the sun crested the horizon. A lower-ranked samurai would rise at dawn, around 6 a.m. The sounds of roosters crowing and the soft rustle of leaves accompanied him. Daybreak signaled the start of countless responsibilities and obligations. These samurai usually wore simple, plain clothing, such as cotton kimonos. Their sandals, made from straw, were lightweight. Footwear was functional, designed for daily activities rather than fashion. Before setting out, a quick wash in cold water refreshed them for the day ahead. The smell of rice cooking filled the air, drawing the samurai to breakfast. Meals consisted mainly of rice, soybeans, and vegetables. The simplicity of their diet reflected their status and available resources. Eating together with family reinforced social bonds and cultivated a sense of belonging. As the morning waned, preparation for the day's duties commenced. These samurai served local daimyos, performing various tasks like farming, administration, or security. The work was constant and filled the hours from dawn until dusk. They understood their roles, which adhered strictly to the hierarchical structure. A common task involved maintaining the rice fields. This required hard labor under the sun's harsh glare. Similar to soldiers, they toiled in pursuit of their lord's prosperity. Tiered systems defined agricultural output, as samurai often handled land management directly. In addition to farming, lower-ranked samurai engaged in training. Their practice sessions were less formal than those of their high-ranking counterparts. However, they made every effort to sharpen their skills. Some trained in the art of swordsmanship, while others learned about archery or horseback riding. The teachings of martial arts were indispensable. These skills often translated into protection during conflicts. Lower-ranked samurai understood the need to sustain their abilities, as their livelihoods depended on it. Local masters occasionally held workshops to refine their practices. Community involvement remained vital for these samurai, much like their high-ranking peers. They participated in local festivals, harmonizing with the villagers. This engagement strengthened relationships and cultivated mutual respect. Events rallied the community together to honor traditions and celebrate the seasons. Yet, beyond festive gatherings lay the reality of their societal role. Lower-ranked samurai faced more precarious outcomes than their elite counterparts. Historical records reveal that loyalty to their daimyo was paramount. Any perceived disloyalty could lead to unemployment or even death. Life remained an intricate balancing act of loyalty and duty. Lower-ranked samurai continuously navigated their obligations, both to their lord and community. They understood risks, yet acted in accordance with conventions deeply ingrained in samurai culture. As the day progressed, responsibilities might shift. Records show that samurai would sometimes serve as local enforcers. Stability required maintaining order within villages and ensuring peace among townsfolk. These duties required diplomacy as well as combat skills. The routines of lower-ranked samurai also encompassed educational pursuits. Many families valued literacy and sought knowledge for their children. Schools existed, where students learned fundamentals, preparing them for roles of service. Books were scarce, and learning was often conveyed orally. Despite their status, scholarly pursuits were respected within their circle. Educated samurai carried weight in discourse, reinforcing their position. This blend of duty and intellect showcased an essential aspect of their existence. As evening approached, tasks would come to a close. The sun dipped behind the fields, casting long shadows. Families gathered, sharing meals while recounting the day's events. The routines, often stripped of luxury, still fostered warmth and connection. Through these shared moments, lower-ranked samurai absorbed lessons on valor amid simplicity. The ethos of honor remained ingrained, whether amidst feasts or fields. Thus, their lives exemplified resilience and adherence to tradition. In this simple existence, bonds were nurtured through shared struggles. The laughter of children echoed as families recounted stories. These moments acted as a reminder of life's intricate weave beyond the battlefield. Transitioning to another part of their day, the focus now shifts toward communal cultural practices. Rituals deeply rooted in samurai tradition provided an essential connection to their heritage and responsibilities. Through these shared moments, lower-ranked samurai absorbed lessons on valor amid simplicity. The ethos of honor remained ingrained, whether amidst feasts or fields. Thus, their lives exemplified resilience and adherence to tradition. In this simple existence, bonds were nurtured through shared struggles. The laughter of children echoed as families recounted stories. These moments acted as a reminder of life's intricate weave beyond the battlefield. Transitioning to another part of their day, the focus now shifts toward communal cultural practices. Rituals deeply rooted in samurai tradition provided an essential connection to their heritage and responsibilities. One of the most significant practices was the tea ceremony, which emphasized notions of harmony and respect within samurai culture. The tea ceremony, known as chanoyu, required careful preparation and execution. Samurai participated in these rituals, believing they fostered mindfulness. The host meticulously selected utensils, tea bowls, bamboo whisks, and tea caddies. Each item held meaning, representing the attention to detail inherent in samurai practices. Records indicate that the ceremonies often took place in specially designed tea rooms. These rooms were austere, devoid of excess ornamentation. Natural elements, such as bamboo and stone, created a serene atmosphere conducive to contemplation. Samurai valued the tranquility that emerged from these moments. The tea used in these ceremonies was typically matcha, a powdered green tea. This tea was whisked with hot water to create frothy, rich flavors. Historical texts detail how samurai learned the art of tea preparation from masters, developing their skills throughout their lives. Participants engaged in rituals that promoted humility and gratitude. Each sip of tea provided an opportunity for reflection. As samurai embraced this practice, they strengthened connections to their peers. Silence punctuated moments of connection, allowing thoughts to flow freely. Samurai often formed groups for these ceremonies, known as Chikai. Within these gatherings, discussions about philosophy and ethics emerged. Themes of loyalty, honor, and duty were frequently explored. Sharing tea became a medium for discussing life's complexities. Ceremonies were marked by a cessation of daily turmoil, creating a sacred space. The act of pouring tea represented a gesture of generosity. Samurai expressed respect for one another, enhancing their bonds. The experience of shared tea extended beyond flavor; it encompassed an emotional journey filled with appreciation. As the seasons changed, the tea ceremony adapted correspondingly. Samurai celebrated specific occasions, such as the arrival of cherry blossoms in spring. These adaptations showcased their attunement to nature and the world around them. The combination of rituals and natural beauty underlined the harmony sought within their lives. Transitioning from the tranquil setting of tea, another aspect of samurai life emerged through their elite counterparts. High-ranking samurai enjoyed privileges that set them apart from others. Their lives contrasted sharply with those of lower-ranked samurai and commoners alike. High-ranking samurai, often known as daimyos, lived lives shaped by wealth and power. They resided in extravagant mansions situated near the center of their domains. These estates displayed ornate decorations and expansive gardens that were significant in size. Historical records describe daimyo mansions with carefully designed landscapes, intended for both aesthetic appeal and Zen-like contemplation. Their meals were significantly varied, reflecting a sophisticated palate. Records indicate that high-ranking samurai feasted upon an array of meats, fish, and seasonal produce. Traditional dishes highlighted regional specialties, allowing for an exploration of Japan's rich culinary heritage. Ceremonial gatherings played a critical role in their social standings. Daimyos hosted events to display their influence, showcasing wealth and power. Guests enjoyed elaborate meals, complete with multiple courses. These gatherings served as a means to strengthen alliances, both politically and socially. The clothing worn by high-ranking samurai also differed markedly from their lesser counterparts. They adorned themselves in garments made from fine silks, decorated with elaborate patterns. Detailed embroidery and vibrant colors indicated status, as did specific patterns that reflected family lineage. Their sartorial choices highlighted not only their wealth but also their connection to tradition. Conversations within gatherings frequently revolved around strategies and governance. High-ranking samurai engaged in discussions relevant to the time, including military tactics. The outcomes of battles and alliances often shaped their decisions and influenced their positions within society. While the lives of daimyos were undoubtedly privileged, they also carried significant responsibilities. Records show that they made decisions affecting all levels of samurai society. Leadership required a balance between maintaining authority and ensuring loyalty among their retainers. Each day involved navigating complexities that often merged both personal ambitions and collective needs. In contrast, lower-ranked samurai lived lives intertwined with fewer luxuries. Their simpler residences reflected their closer connection to the land. These spaces, while modest, resonated with a sense of purpose. They were often constructed from wood, adorned with traditional tatami mats. The daily fare of lower-ranked samurai consisted mainly of rice and vegetables. Meals lacked the variety found on the tables of high-ranking samurai. However, the food was often prepared with care, emphasizing its nourishment over extravagance. Records indicate that meals held their own cultural significance, reflecting community ties and traditions. Social interactions among lower-ranked samurai mirrored their simpler lifestyles. Conversations revolved around daily tasks, regional news, and community matters. Bonds formed from shared experiences fostered a sense of loyalty and trust among peers. While life experiences differed, both high-ranking and lower-ranked samurai shared core values. Loyalty, honor, and adherence to duty define both spheres. This communal appreciation for ethics and moral responsibility emphasized the connections within samurai culture. As evening approached, the routines of high-ranking samurai often included planning and strategizing. Discussions took place within the confines of their mansions, where opulence transformed into important discourse. While the luxurious setting provided comfort, it also accompanied the weight of expectation and responsibility. Transitioning to the political structures that shaped samurai society reveals a clearer understanding of their place within governance. Samurai served various roles within the established systems, dictating their functions and authority. The structure of the shogunate solidified control and order, all while reinforcing social hierarchies. The Tokugawa shogunate, established in 1603, centralized power through its rigorous edicts. Under this regime, samurai played vital roles in maintaining political stability. They executed the shogunate's laws within their respective domains, acting as local enforcers. Historical records show how these roles often remained instrumental in handling disputes and conflicts. The hierarchies within samurai culture reinforce social order. Higher ranks dictated the behaviors and privileges of lower-ranked samurai. Yet, the complexity of these relationships did not exist solely in linear structures. Alliances and conflicts sometimes blurred lines between ranked positions. As samurai engaged with local governance, they developed skills in mediation. These foundations built a framework of order, demanding ability and political finesse. A focus on propriety and decorum ensured adherence to existing customs while fostering community connections. In conclusion, the tea ceremony encapsulates the nuanced relationship between culture, status, and ritual in samurai life. The contrast between high-ranking and lower-ranked samurai defined daily experiences. Political structures shaped interactions, extending beyond personal duties. Throughout, the bonds formed around everyday life education remained essential to the samurai's legacy. As the narrative progresses, the next segment reveals the specific responsibilities of leadership among the daimyos, highlighting how these individuals navigated the intricate webs of power and duty. High-ranking samurai enjoyed lives steeped in privilege. Their residences, called mansions or shoin, were expansive and ornate. Historical texts describe these homes as havens of culture and refinement. Rooms were arranged to create spaces for ceremonies and social gatherings. The architecture exhibited a blend of functionality and aesthetic beauty. In their homes, high-ranking samurai had specific servant roles defined by hierarchy. The retention of household staff added to their status. Samurai often employed skilled artisans, cooks, and retainers. Each servant performed duties aligned with their assigned roles. This division of labor ensured households functioned smoothly. Culinary practices varied significantly among the samurai class. High-ranking samurai enjoyed lavish meals featuring seasonal ingredients. Records from the Edo period reveal elaborate dining customs. Dishes could include fish, game, and an array of vegetables. Seasonal fruits complemented their meals, showcasing culinary diversity. Cooking styles were influenced by local traditions and the availability of ingredients. Ceremonial gatherings provided opportunities to exhibit wealth and connections. These gatherings often included music, dance, and poetry. Scholars note that refinement in manners and etiquette was crucial at these events. High-ranking samurai practiced their skills in a formalization of social interactions. This aspect of life was vital to maintaining status within the class system. The clothing worn by high-ranking samurai reflected their elevated position. Garments were often made from fine silks, featuring intricate embroidery. Historical documents describe the use of bright colors and detailed patterns. The choice of clothing had cultural significance and indicated status. Samurai donned robes known as katajinu, which highlighted their rank. Even within the elite class, the responsibilities often loomed large. Duties extended beyond personal enjoyment to encompass governance and leadership. Political responsibilities called for constant vigilance, decision-making, and mediation. Daimyos, the feudal lords, relied heavily on their samurai for support. These leaders mediated local issues while enforcing the commands of the shogunate. The responsibilities of high-ranking samurai included overseeing their domains. Records highlight their role in managing agricultural production and tax collection. They navigated the complexities of village governance, maintaining order and stability. Samurai had to ensure the loyalty of their retainers while fostering positive relations with local populations. Core values guided the behavior of high-ranking samurai. Honor was paramount, their actions positioned them as role models. Living according to the code of Bushido demanded integrity and self-discipline. Public perception could impact their status significantly. Therefore, a samurai's actions were often scrutinized closely by their peers. Ceremonies reflecting loyalty and status became common practice. Rituals affirmed the bonds between daimyos and their samurai. Ceremonial exchanges of gifts symbolized their mutual respect. Swords, especially, carried immense cultural significance. They represented power, status, and personal honor, making them prized possessions. The complex dynamics of samurai life included alliances and rivalries. Historical records reflect shifting loyalties. These could alter the landscape of power. High-ranking samurai prepared for potential conflicts, anticipating the behavior of rivals. Strategic marriages and forming alliances became prevalent means of securing status. In times of conflict, the fortitude of a high-ranking samurai was tested. They participated in various military campaigns, demonstrating their skills in combat. Battles demanded not just physical prowess but strategic thinking as well. The shogunate relied on their experience and leadership during these turbulent periods. Annual ceremonies marked significant events in a samurai's calendar. These gatherings served various purposes, including feudal alliances and rituals. A historical examination reflects the multifaceted nature of samurai life. By participating in rituals, samurai reinforced communal bonds and their loyalty. Even the very structures of their lives were dictated by ritual. The presence of cultural practices permeated their existence. Rituals began with morning and evening ceremonies, infusing daily routines with significance. Maintaining these traditions reinforced their roles within society. As evening fell, the day shifted towards preparations for dinner. Gatherings with fellow samurai provided opportunities for social interaction. Discussion around strategy often intertwined with cultural appreciation. The atmosphere resonated with camaraderie and shared experiences. Conversations flowed easily, enriched by laughter and exchanges of ideas. Meals also served as opportunities for fostering relationships. High-ranking samurai hosted banquets that displayed culinary opulence. Food and drink flowed graciously during these gatherings. Guests dined on intricately prepared dishes and celebrated shared interests. The ambience served as a bridge for interpersonal connections among the elite. Honor, status, and wealth intermingled in a complex dance. The rituals of high-ranking samurai contrasted starkly with common samurai experiences. While certain elements remained similar, distinctions marked the daily life of each class. Transitioning to a discussion of common samurai illuminates stark contrasts. The daily lives of lower-ranking samurai were shaped by different realities. Their routines, expectations, and privileges varied significantly, offering a new perspective on samurai life. As this narrative progresses, understanding the juxtaposition between elite and common samurai becomes essential. The next segment highlights those common experiences, framing life for the majority of samurai in the Edo period. It lends clarity to the social hierarchies and everyday realities faced by samurai as they navigated their multifaceted existence. The daily routine for lower-ranked samurai diverged significantly from their higher-ranking counterparts. Their days were often defined by a lack of wealth and privilege. Many lived in small, modest homes, often shared with extended family. Life was rooted in duty, toil, and the necessity of maintaining a livelihood. Lower-ranking samurai generally awoke earlier than the elite. As dawn broke in the Edo period, they rose from their sleeping mats. Their homes, simple and utilitarian, offered little insulation from the cold. The chill of the early morning air permeated through thin paper walls. Breakfast was typically a basic meal. A common samurai often ate leftover rice from the previous day. Fermented vegetables or pickles, known as tsukemono, accompanied the rice. These simple foods sustained them for demanding tasks ahead. After breakfast, they dressed in plain cotton kimonos, often frayed at the edges. Footwear remained practical, typically consisting of waraji, woven sandals made from straw. They tied their kimono securely with an obi, a simple sash. Their grooming rituals were brief. The use of a small wooden basin for washing their faces was common. Cool water refreshed them, preparing them mentally and physically for the day. Many samurai believed cleanliness was important for maintaining honor. The life of a lower-ranking samurai rarely included extensive training sessions. Instead, they performed various duties throughout the day. Their service often required a degree of versatility. The skills they possessed sometimes needed to adapt to the tasks assigned by their daimyo. Servitude to a lord represented loyalty, but that loyalty was often honored through different roles. Many common samurai participated in local governance, ensuring their lord's interests were upheld. Meetings with elders allowed common samurai to contribute insights and discuss community needs. At times, lower-ranking samurai engaged in labor alongside townsfolk. They might work as farmers, laborers, or craftsmen. This work provided essential income, especially when a samurai's pay was insufficient. Community gatherings strengthened ties and fostered connections among samurai and townsfolk. As midday approached, some might indulge in light training. They often practiced simple motions with wooden swords or participated in community archery events. These activities connected the samurai with traditional martial skills, maintaining a link to their heritage. Lunch typically consisted of more simple fare. Meals of rice, soup, and various vegetables sustained them. Sometimes the presence of seasonal fish added flavor to otherwise plain dishes. Cultural traditions dictated even humble meals were prepared with care. During the afternoon, samurai assisted in various tasks such as maintaining the estate of their lord. Records show that tasks included patrols of the property and ensuring security. They took notice of anything unusual that required attention. In Edo period Japan, the responsibilities of a samurai included observation. They reported significant events or incursions to their superiors. This requirement presented challenges for common samurai, who may not have been well equipped for martial confrontation. The constant awareness required in this role affected the samurai psyche. Many faced moments of tension and stress. However, they remained committed to duty. Records illustrate how the presence of danger ignited their fighting spirit. As dusk approached, the community atmosphere shifted. Lower-ranking samurai gathered with peers, discussing the day's events. Conversations ranged from local matters to strategy. The importance of these interactions brought a sense of shared life and purpose. Evenings were also marked by family gatherings. Simple meals shared among family provided comfort. They expressed gratitude for a day of work done and sustenance achieved. The warmth of kinship served as a reminder of the fabric that stitched their lives together. As night settled in, the common samurai concluded their tasks. They often prepared for the next day's challenges. Rituals of honor and duty continued even in the tranquility of home. The whispered words of loyalty reminded them of their commitment to their people and their lord. The routines of lower-ranking samurai illustrated stark contrasts against their elite peers. Yet, their lives remained grounded in the same fundamental principles of loyalty and respect. Their dedication often went unnoticed, yet it was no less significant in the grand context of samurai society. Now, the focus shifts to the political structures that govern samurai society. Understanding the roles and responsibilities within these frameworks enriches the comprehension of their daily lives. The success of the Tokugawa shogunate emerged from carefully articulated laws that shaped samurai culture. This exploration will illuminate the profound impact of governance on everyday experiences for all samurai. The political structures of samurai society were intricately intertwined with the lives of all samurai. At the apex of this system was the shogun, the military ruler who consolidated power. The Tokugawa shogunate, established in 1603, ruled Japan for over 250 years. This regime brought stability after centuries of civil war. Under the shogun were the daimyos, powerful feudal lords. They controlled vast territories and maintained their private armies. Samurai served as vassals to these daimyos, pledging loyalty and military service. This loyalty was not merely personal, it was a crucial aspect of the samurai code known as Bushido. Bushido emphasizes honor, courage, and loyalty among samurai. Observing these principles was paramount to maintaining one's reputation. Samurai were expected to uphold their daimyo's honor, which, in turn, reflected back upon them. Thus, the hierarchy reinforced a rigid social structure. Records from the Edo period show that samurai duties varied widely. Some samurai performed military tasks. Others took on administrative roles, managing the lands of their daimyos. This division of labor ensured that the daimyos' estates functioned smoothly and efficiently. Responsibilities included collecting taxes, maintaining public order, and overseeing peasants. These tasks demanded both managerial skills and a deep understanding of local customs. Written directives were often issued from the shogunate, outlining the expectations of samurai conduct. In the daily conversations among samurai, politics played a notable role. They discussed current events and the intricacies of governance. These dialogues frequently revolved around loyalty, responsibility, and the importance of serving their lord dutifully. As samurai engaged in these discussions, tensions arose occasionally. Conflicting interests between different daimyos sometimes emerged, creating a landscape of distrust. Samurai had to navigate these complexities carefully, balancing personal loyalty with strategic considerations. Furthermore, the Tokugawa shogunate established a caste system, delineating the roles of each class. At the top were the samurai, followed by farmers, artisans, and merchants. This hierarchy set clear expectations for behavior and respect. Samurai often felt conflicted between their elite status and the responsibilities to their lower-ranking counterparts. Historically, records indicate that these interactions included mediation and conflict resolution. Samurai held positions in local councils. They served not only as warriors but also as enforcers of the shogun's laws. Their authority often made them figures of local power. In certain contexts, samurai acted as judges, resolving disputes within their communities. This extension of power confirmed their role as protectors and leaders. Their presence maintained order during a time when civil unrest was common. However, the role of samurai was not solely about governance. It also involved upholding traditions and rituals. Ceremonies reinforced the social fabric and affirmed the loyalty between samurai and their daimyo. Rituals also emphasized their commitment to law and order. Documents from the period illustrate how these ceremonies could vary. Some involved offerings at local shrines, while others were exclusive to the daimyo's estate. Each event served to strengthen the bonds of loyalty within samurai ranks. Further, the title of a samurai itself was a recognition of one's service. It carried weight and bestowed social advantages. The term reflected not just military prowess but also a sense of societal responsibility. Samurai took pride in this designation, cementing their status within the community. Many samurai remained involved in spiritual matters as well. Zen Buddhism and Shintoism influenced daily life significantly. Both philosophies encouraged a sense of duty and ethics critical to samurai culture. Education often included lessons in these spiritual practices. The significance of education cannot be understated. Many samurai could read and write, despite common assumptions about their roles as warriors. Texts on philosophy and governance were studied, enriching their discussions. They sought to understand their place in a complex society. Amid these educational pursuits, samurai also trained in various martial arts. Their training was rigorous, demanding both physical and mental discipline. It prepared them not only for battle but for the challenges of leadership as well. However, the demands of the political structures sometimes took a toll on samurai feelings and beliefs. Frequent military campaigns and strategies imposed a heavy burden. Samurai had to balance their personal beliefs with the expectations of their daimyo and the shogunate. Environmental factors further influenced their political engagements. Natural disasters, such as earthquakes and floods, tested the structures of samurai governance. These events required immediate responses from samurai, reinforcing their roles as community leaders. Records from the Edo period detail how samurai responded to crises. They often gathered resources to aid the afflicted. This response demonstrated their commitment to their community and lord alike, deepening their loyalty further. As this political landscape evolved, the significance of rituals remained strong. The samurai held ceremonies to honor fallen comrades. These gatherings instilled a sense of shared purpose and unity. They reflected the values enshrined in Bushido, emphasizing respect and remembrance. The influence of the shogunate permeated every aspect of samurai life. Laws established by the shogunate delineated not only military obligations but also etiquette. Samurai families adhered to strict codes of conduct that dictated their behaviors in public and private life. Furthermore, records indicate how status governed daily interactions. Lower-ranking samurai often faced limitations, tethered by their lord's wealth and power. High-ranking samurai enjoyed greater privileges, yet they, too, had to navigate the consequences of their hierarchical position. As these samurai navigated their roles, stories of bravery and heroism spread. Legends circulated about those who served with honor and distinction. These narratives reinforced the ideals of courage and loyalty among the samurai. Even as these tales echoed through generations, the complexity of their roles remained. Records from various sources show how loyalty to daimyo could sometimes conflict with personal honor. Such dilemmas added layers to the samurai experience. In summary, the political structures governing samurai society shaped lives significantly. Understanding these frameworks illuminates the interplay between duty, honor, and social expectation. The lives of samurai unfolded within a tapestry of loyalty, woven by the rules set forth by the Tokugawa shogunate. Now, the focus shifts to the rituals of leadership. These ceremonies not only affirmed loyalty but also dictated the responsibilities of samurai. The exploration of these events will reveal how leadership was executed and how order was maintained. The responsibilities of leadership were deeply ingrained in the samurai's daily life. Ceremonies served to affirm the bonds of loyalty and duty. These events were meticulously planned and executed. Each ritual retained a specific purpose, ensuring respect for tradition and hierarchy. One common ritual was the formal audience with a daimyo. This event often took place in the daimyo's castle. Samurai retinue would assemble, dressed in formal attire. They wore kimonos made from fine fabric, often adorned with family crests. This display signified their rank and allegiance. During the audience, protocols governed the behavior of all present. Samurai were required to bow deeply upon entering. The degree of bowing indicated a samurai's status compared to the daimyo. Lower-ranking warriors would bow lower than their higher-ranked counterparts. Records from the Edo period describe the elaborate settings of these ceremonies. Tapestries hung on the walls, depicting historical victories. The weight of history lingered in the air. Samurai would stand in a semicircle, awaiting their turn to speak. Silence filled the room, broken only by the sound of formal greetings. The daimyo would call upon each samurai individually. As they stepped forward, samurai spoke of their recent activities. Each report had to reflect loyalty and dedication to the clan. Samurai understood that their words could influence their standing in the eyes of their lord. Standing before the daimyo was a moment of both honor and anxiety. A samurai's reputation depended on their accuracy and clarity. Misinformation could result in severe repercussions. Learning how to navigate these discussions became vital for their success. After addressing their lord, samurai often engaged in strategic discussions. These exchanges highlighted the importance of military planning. Close relationships with fellow samurai strengthened ties among the group. They assessed recent skirmishes, sharing experiences and lessons learned. Ceremonies also included memorial services for fallen comrades. The samurai gathered to honor the dead with formal tributes. These events provided a space for reflection and remembrance. Candles lit the surroundings, flickering gently as prayers were spoken. Each ceremony emphasized loyalty to those who had served honorably. Offerings of rice and sake were presented to the spirits. This practice highlighted the interconnected nature of the samurai community. The actions of one reflected on the entire collective. In addition to honoring the past, these rituals solidified existing hierarchies. Leaders reiterated their commands, clarifying expectations for the months ahead. Samurai listened intently, noting every word. Failing to comply with a command was unacceptable. The formal structure of samurai life was not restricted to ceremonies. It extended into all aspects of governance. Each samurai, regardless of rank, had specific roles to fulfill. Administrative duties included overseeing local laws and ensuring public order. Records show how samurai often acted as mediators. They settled disputes among townsfolk, reflecting their authority. Engaging with the community allowed samurai to maintain their standing. This balance between duty and public perception shaped their effectiveness. Rituals governed the manner in which samurai interacted with the people. Etiquette dictated how one would approach commoners. Displaying arrogance was frowned upon. Respect and humility were deeply valued traits in samurai society. Samurai retained an essential role in preserving order. Their presence deterred criminal activity, ensuring the stability of the region. This obligation extended beyond military might. The maintenance of peace was equally important. Throughout these responsibilities, ceremonial habits persisted. Each samurai reinforced their identity through participation in rituals. By consistently engaging in these practices, they emulated the values of Bushido. The path of the warrior was marked by honor and respect. Awaiting the next task, samurai often shared meals together. These moments provided respite from their duties. Food was simple but shared with gratitude. Rice, vegetables, and occasionally fish enriched their diets. Meal times encouraged camaraderie among samurai. They exchanged stories and insights, deepening their understanding of one another. Discussions of tactics and past battles often colored their conversations. Such gatherings built trust and respect within their ranks. As discussions wound down, samurai reflected on their responsibilities. Each day required a blend of skill, loyalty, and strategy. The challenges of leadership were never-ending, but so too were the rewards. Fulfilled duties brought satisfaction, ensuring stability for their clans. Among the samurai, the rituals of leadership extended beyond formal gatherings. Daily acts of respect, loyalty, and discipline fortified their commitments. Each interaction carried the weight of tradition. They marked each moment as a reflection of their shared history. The legacy of samurai culture returned to those communal ties. The ideals of honor and loyalty persisted through generations. As the day of the samurai continued, the routines woven together illustrated a broader picture. Understanding these practices allows a glimpse into the complexity of samurai life. Each ritual served to solidify relationships within the clan. The dynamics influenced a broader societal structure that placed great value on loyalty. Now, the focus shifts to the enduring legacy of samurai culture. The practices that defined them resonate in modern Japanese society. These traditions continue to influence contemporary values and norms. As the story unfolds, the lasting impact of this rich history becomes evident. The teachings of samurai resonate in modern Japanese society today. The practices and principles established centuries ago continue to influence contemporary values. Honor, loyalty, and respect remain central themes in Japanese culture. Each generation seeks to understand the path of the samurai, reflecting on their wisdom. Cultural ceremonies retain echoes of the samurai ethos. This profound connection with Japan's past is evident in various traditions. For instance, martial arts still emphasize the importance of discipline and respect. Practices such as kendo and aikido teach skills rooted in samurai techniques. Students learn both physical and moral lessons through rigorous training. Historical narratives illustrate the samurai's global impact. Their values permeate literature, art, and cinema. Countless tales recount epic battles, noble sacrifices, and the pursuit of honor. The samurai's journey resonates as a timeless narrative of human experience. Their legend is shaped not only through victories but also their path toward personal growth. In modern Japan, the samurai spirit is also celebrated through festivals. The Sanja Matsuri in Tokyo showcases traditional samurai attire. Participants wear costumes that reflect the dignity and style of ancient warriors. Crowds gather to honor these representations of historical heritage. Traditional music and dance capture the hearts of onlookers, creating a sense of shared identity. An essential aspect of samurai legacy includes the concept of Bushido. This code of conduct has evolved as a standard in various organizations. Corporate values in modern Japan often reflect the principles of loyalty and integrity. Workers strive for dedication, mirroring the samurai's devotion to their lords. Records from the Edo period illustrate how deeply rooted these values were. The samurai's enduring legacy is also evident in spiritual practices. Zen Buddhism, embraced by many samurai, influences modern mindfulness techniques. Focus and discipline learned through meditation enhance personal development. Contemporary practitioners find inspiration in samurai teachings. Understanding of these philosophies fosters growth within personal and professional environments. Furthermore, samurai artifacts provide tangible connections to history. Museums across Japan showcase swords, armor, and scrolls. These items not only tell tales of battles but also reveal daily lives. Archaeological evidence gathered from various sites demonstrates the samurai's intricate existence. Numerous artifacts have been carefully preserved, conveying their significance. In 1910, the Tokyo National Museum established its samurai collection. This collection attracts countless visitors, eager to understand this warrior class. Curators meticulously arrange exhibits to showcase the samurai's impact on history. Each object tells stories of bravery, craftsmanship, and cultural significance. Such exhibits serve as reminders of the historical setting from which these warriors emerged. Literature also reflects the influence of samurai culture. Works by authors such as Musashi often examine the complexities of warrior life. The Book of Five Rings, written in 1645, offers insights into strategy and philosophy. This text, rooted in the experiences of a famous samurai, remains relevant today. Scholars widely study his principles, finding connections to modern strategic thinking. The impact of samurai culture extends beyond Japan. International interest in the samurai phenomena fuels global fascination. Documentaries and films explore their lives, portraying the nuances of their existence. Many interpretations romanticize the samurai while emphasizing their core values. Such portrayals capture the imagination of audiences far and wide. In education, teachings based on samurai principles find their place. Several schools incorporate these values into their curriculums. Students engage in discussions surrounding honor, discipline, and respect. Through understanding samurai culture, they gain insights into responsibility and community. These lessons shape a new generation's thoughts and behaviors. The samurai's profound impact on art cannot be overlooked. Traditional forms, including painting and calligraphy, reflect samurai ideals. Artists often depict scenes of valor, nature, and honor. Further, the visual narrative emphasizes the symbiotic relationship between man and nature. This connection mirrors the samurai's own harmony with their surroundings. Martial arts films also popularize samurai culture worldwide. Studio Ghibli's Princess Mononoke and Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai showcase their timeless tales. Such films engage audiences in stories of struggle, honor, and redemption. Viewers find resonance in the characters' dedication to their ideals. These cinematic portrayals contribute to the lasting appreciation of samurai culture. In contemporary Japan, there are schools dedicated to preserving samurai traditions. These schools teach historical swordsmanship and cultural practices. Students participate to learn not just the techniques, but also the context. Through these lessons, they gain insight into a rich heritage. This path fosters connections with their ancestors and traditions. In communities, festivals continue to celebrate the samurai's legacy. Events like the Gion Matsuri promote cultural pride and understanding. Participants often dress in traditional clothing reminiscent of samurai aesthetics. The colors and designs demonstrate respect for history and familial connections. Such celebrations serve to strengthen community bonds. Philosophical reflections on duty remain poignant within Japanese society. Many citizens find value in self-discipline and commitment to one's role. The samurai's dedication to their lords mirrors the modern worker's devotion to tasks. Through these parallels, a continuous thread emerges from the past to the present. Culinary traditions showcase connections to samurai heritage. The preparation and presentation of meals reflect deep respect for nature. Ingredients sourced locally honor the environment and community. Samurais emphasized simplicity and quality, values that persist in Japanese cuisine. Eating together maintains bonds, reminiscent of samurai meal-sharing practices. Annual martial arts competitions draw participants and spectators. These events celebrate the martial traditions of Japan's history. Competitors embody the spirit of samurai values through their performances. Judges assess technique, discipline, and dedication during each contest. Retaining respect for these principles fosters a sense of unity within the community. Literary explorations of samurai themes continue to thrive. Authors explore the struggles between tradition and modernity. The tension between ancient customs and contemporary realities emerges as a major theme. Readers engage with narratives that resonate within their lives, bridging past and future. In summary, the teachings of samurai persist in manifesting spirit and values. Their influence shapes not only Japan but extends globally. Through festivals, education, and artistic expressions, samurai culture remains alive. Deep respect for their legacy continues to foster connections across generations. And so, the Day of the Samurai comes to a close. The routines intertwine, histories converge, and traditions persist. The enduring essence of samurai life finds expression in the present day. As the sun sets, the values cultivated by these warriors echo through time. Understanding this legacy allows insights into a broader cultural identity. The impact of the samurai will continue to shape lives, ensuring their story never fades. The existence of the samurai remains a vital part of human history. Arriving at this conclusion highlights the timeless nature of their influence. As one reflects on the journey of the samurai, their spirit continues to guide contemporary practices and philosophies. The essence of honor remains a foundational element in Japanese culture today.